Okay.
Welcome, Akshat, to another interesting debriefing session. Congratulations on scoring a 98th percentile score and a 750 on the GMAT. How do you feel?
Thank you. Thank you very much, DJ. First of all, I would like to thank e-GMAT and special thanks to you, DJ, for this whole journey of 6 months. It feels great. It feels satisfying when I finally saw the 750. I think the hard work paid off.
Of course it did, yeah. I mean, given the fact that you scored two 690s before, you've gotten a V32 or 35, and now that you've gotten a 41, that shows that, the difference between you studying a certain way versus you actually imbibing everything that we kind of teach makes a difference. So talk me through your V32 and V35, how you studied for that. What did you do?
So initially, when I was sure that I want to tackle the GMAT exam, I checked online forums such as GMAT Club, etc. And I was able to scrape all those questions from the website, and I was solving these rapidly, like week after week. I was doing those questions, and I felt that this is going to work. So I took my first final GMAT 1, and I got a 690. The quant was pretty good. Verbal wasn't good. So I thought maybe my prep wasn't enough. Maybe I should do it again. More questions will help me. So I went for another round. I did more verbal questions, focused on verbal only, not quant. This time I got a Q50 49, slightly lower, and a verbal 35. And that was again a 690. So I was really disappointed in my second one also.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the GMAT hurts a lot, right? So you feel that, I'll put in X amount of work, that'll give me X amount of results. But in most cases, something goes up and then something goes down. That's how it kind of works with Quant and Verbal on the GMAT. Now, take me through what led you to actually choosing e-GMAT, because I think that decision is very, very important for a student like you who's practiced a lot of questions, high potential, but needs to make a decision on what they need to do going forward.
So I was solving all those verbal questions on GMAT Club. And when I was checking the solutions to those questions, the top solution used to be from e-GMAT mostly. And I also read on the same forum that e-GMAT, I read recommendations basically about e-GMAT. So I checked it out. I was approached by one of your guys. He took me through the whole course, what would be there in the course. And I really liked it. So I opted for like the whole course, including quant, not just verbal.
Got it. I think Sandeep reached out to you and probably spoke to you about your mock and how to take things from there. And I'm glad you actually took the entire course as well, because we had Quant 2.0 at that point in time. So I think it was around August where I had reached out to you and you had just come on board to the course and you'd gotten a fairly decent mock score. And, LM at that point used to be not necessarily just your last 2 weeks, your last 3 weeks. It used to be someone who has high potential. You want to nurture them and, help them get the high score. So I think your engagement and mine has probably been, I think 6 months, 6.5 months. And it's been really, really, it's been wonderful, right? So take me through the entire experience and the process of LMP and, the 3 stages and so on.
Yeah, so I think the first thing I reached out to e-GMAT team was asking for a proper structure, because I love structure and working on a planned basis. And you reached out to me with exactly that, the first step. So essentially, we did not skip anything. e-GMAT has a 3-stage process. We started with stage 1. I had a good score in my first diagnostic mock, but which would have told me to skip to like 2nd stage or 3rd stage, but I was not that confident. I had a lot of gaps. So I went step by step, did not skip anything. Essentially, we started with SC. That was the first. Before that, master comprehension, obviously, that's like key for everything that binds the whole verbal. We started with MC, then SC, then CR and RC. That was for the verbal. Then we moved to quant. Basically, we had a weekly task thing. I was always in touch with you, and you had given me assignments like so-and-so should be done. And it was a weekly thing. We caught up and then we checked the progress.
And is that helpful, Akshat? So for a student who is using a product like ours, did you find there's value in, getting a milestone and then a list of tasks and a duration?
Yeah, I think also because I have a full-time job, right? So I think 9 hours every day is gone in that. And then if you're tired and then you want to procrastinate and you don't have these milestones, it's very easy to drift away from the goals. And with milestones, with proper structure, with keeping in touch with you, it was like very good to be on track.
Got it. Keeps you diligent to the
Yep.
process, right? So as a person who did do well, of course, fairly well on the GMAT as well, and who did well in the mock too, I want to know if you found any value in doing stage 1 of SCCR and RC, and what you took away from that.
Yeah, definitely. I think, first of all, the whole meaning-based approach is very, very important. And if any person who skips stage 1 goes to stage 2, I think I recommend no one to skip stage 1. I think stage 1 is very important for verbal. So there was great value, pre-thinking in CR. I think these two combined help you in RC. So yeah, stage 1 was very important. Stage 2 is basically cementing all these to solidify them. Again, very important. So yeah, I would say all these, like, I love going through the steps. I know I don't like skipping these things.
Got it. And you were very particular about it as well, and I like that. Now in cementing, right, was there, other than just taking the cementing quizzes, were you doing something else as well to kind of make sure that you are retaining what you've learned in stage 1?
Yeah. So there are these, there are a lot of resources in e-GMAT to guide you through taking notes and filling out error logs, etc. So I watched all of them like twice. I was revisiting them again and again if I missed something. So I had very solid notes on stage 1. Whatever I was doing, I had notes on each and everything. I think I used to go back to my notes every alternate day. That was very important.
Got it. I think that adds a lot of value to what you're doing as well, to retain what you've kind of learned, because it's an intensive course. Now, tell me one thing. You had a Q49 and Q50, right? There was no particular reason you had to do the quant course. And I also felt that way. I was like, you had a good score, but you wanted to do it, you being you, right? Now that you have done it, and of course you scored a Q50 again, was there value in doing so? Did you find it helpful?
Yeah, definitely. Because after like 2-month long verbal prep, I felt that it's a good idea to now switch things and do the whole GMAT thing, because I'm not exactly sure what's going on with my quant on the back end, like if it's dropping down or not. So yeah, and I did see that in the diagnostic test in quant section as well.
Understood. So basically, to just make sure that you're at the same level again, you kind of want to go through the course again too, of course. And you did stage 1, 2, and 3 there again, of course.
Yep.
We've discussed stage 1 and 2. How important is test readiness, or stage 3, like we like to call it?
I think it's very, very important, because it's the final step of piecing up everything. Like you learn individual concepts. That's fine. That's happening in stage 1 and 2. But how do you actually do that in a 3-hour-long test, finally in a test environment? I think it's very important. And that's when I saw some of the weakest areas properly.
Yeah, I think you find your weak areas only when you're put under stress, right? So I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. Now we finished off with all of this. I think you got a fairly decent score on your second and third mock as well. I think it was a 730, 740. You were doing fairly well. I was very happy with where you were at. But then you got a 640. What happened there?
Yeah, first of all, I think I strayed off from the path. You had not asked me to take that mock, and I still took that mock that day. It was a strange day. Like, there was work going on at home, and I was supposed to meet my friends in the evening. That was going on in my mind. I just clicked on the mock. I started doing it as if it's like some practice test or something. Did not take it seriously, and yeah, that showed in the score. I just finished at 640. I did not even close the tab. The first thing I do is mail you that I know, DJ, you did not ask me to do it, but I did it. It's a 640. I'm very confused.
Yeah. That is a very interesting situation, because see, in a very long engagement, there are things that you do on your own, and that I also, have no idea of that you've done. And I think it's fine. And do you remember my response to that email?
Yeah. You said that you were also surprised, like, what's going on here, and you said that, Akshat, this is an anomaly. Like, this is basically an outlier. So you asked me to basically prepare error logs for all the incorrect questions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did that properly, and then we went to the SC booster.
Got it. So, I mean, it was a very courageous move, frankly, to tell someone that, your 640 is nothing, just forget about it, especially when they book that test in a week from then. So I think what we figured out was that while it was an anomaly, SC was definitely a problem. Like it was that weak gray area that didn't show up earlier, and it was probably a blessing in disguise. So talk me through the SC ability package, and it's something again that only LM students get. And it's something that I find that it's that thing that can change your scores very, very quick. Talk me through what was there in it.
Yeah. Also, I would like to mention that right before the SC booster, I was really confused, like about the confidence of your tone in the mails. Like you were pretty confident that just do this SC booster, and you did not tell me anything else. And I was like, what is this? Some magic package? What's going on? And I started doing that step by step. It had certain steps. It's basically reviving what I had forgotten initially, and taking it like to the next level. Basically, the last minute understanding of things that I really did not get in the first 2 months was great, because it's basically reviving. It's watering a plant that was dying, and once it starts flourishing again, it's bigger essentially. And that happened to me last time. Like that SC booster probably benefited my CR and RC as well.
Yeah, and by the way, there are RC and CR boosters too, but you didn't get that because you didn't need it. But
yeah, I was confused about that as well, because I had a low score in verbal, and I was like, you gave me SC booster only, and I did not ask you why you gave me SC booster, why not CR booster, why not quant booster. I just trusted it.
No, I think what I figured out from that mock was that CR and RC can be anomalies in certain days when you're not thinking straight and you don't read well, but SC cannot be. SC usually cannot be, given the amount of learning you've done. So I think that was good. That was really good. Talk me also through the last mile plan that you got. So I probably created that last mile plan. You also got a 3-day plan right at the end with day-to-day activities. How helpful was that in kind of just honing your last mile tips?
I think that was the most helpful thing for being focused in the exam mode. Like last 3 days, a lot of things can happen, and you might end up losing the mood, motivation, anything like that. But last 3-day plan was so precise that I followed it day by day. Last day was pretty relaxed. You said relax and stick with your notes.
Yeah.
I did exactly that. Last 3 days were like very smooth.
Got it. And this was at a time when actually I was on leave, and I was like, no, so many people. But I think what I realized, and I do realize in this job now, is that my leaves really don't matter. You guys are taking the exam all year round, so one has to figure time around that. But I'm super happy that you scored a 750, because that's of course what you were gunning for when you came on board, and it's especially, I would say, very gratifying, because long period of time you persevered, so did I. There's been many ups and downs in your prep, but you've followed the 3-stage approach, and just kind of revised my confidence in that approach and how things work. Any quick takeaways for any test taker who's out there and wants to kind of improve their verbal score or quant score?
I think do it in a structured way. I'm a big advocate for plans. If you have a proper plan, a proper timeline in mind and deadline. In fact, I would like to highlight that all the Sigma mocks that I took, there's a target score that you have to input before you start the mock. And I used to put always 41 and 50. And that's exactly what I got in my real GMAT also. So I think planning, structure, and believing in the plan. I think trusting the system is very important.
Absolutely. Once again, congratulations on the 750. Of course, we'll be talking more later, but I'm super happy, and all the best for your applications.
Thank you very much, DJ.